In this set, it is given that a photo shoot is to be done involving 9 people P to X. They are sitting in a row from left to right, all facing the camera. Only 3 of them are formally dressed, and it is also known that P, U, and V are males. S and X are female. Q is formally dressed male, while it means Q is also male and formally dressed, while R is a formally dressed female. We have got one more female who is formally dressed. It is also known that males and females sit alternately in the row. From here, it can be deduced that if there are 9 people and some of them are female and some of them are male, and they, that is males and females sit alternately, it is only possible when the number of males is either 4 or 5, and same goes with females. So we have idea about the number of males and female. Now let's move to the first question of the set. Which of the following statements Which of the following statements provide sufficient information to determine with respect to each and every person whether the person is male or female, and whether the person is formally dressed or not formally dressed? As we already know about 4 males and 3 females, and formally dressed male and one formally dressed female, it means there is one more person who we have to check out with formally dressed. First option is saying X is formally dressed female. By the time we know that P, V, U, Q are males, S, X, and are females, and if we know that X is a formally dressed female, we cannot determine how many males are there and similarly how many females are there. So this statement is not going to help us in determining what the question is asking for. Now come to the second option. W is formally dressed female. Now we have all the info about the formally dressed people, but we do not know the number of males as well as females, and it is not possible also to determine at this with the given information, as there are exactly 4 males and exactly 4 females. So this statement is also not providing adequate information to determine what the question is asking for. Let's come to the option C. P is a formally dressed male. Again, by this info, we would not be able to determine the exact number of males as well as females. So come to the last option. It is saying T is a formally dressed male. From here we have got 5 males. So from here it is obvious that the number of females has to be 4, and we have already 3 females, so the remaining female is W. and we also have information about all the formally dressed persons. So the information given in a statement or option D is adequate to determine what the question is asking for. So option D is the correct answer. Now let's move to the next question. If W is a male who is not formally dressed, then which of the following is or necessarily false? Here we have all the male members, and these are W, P, U, V, Q, and female members are S, X, R, and T. We know that Q is formally dressed. The same is the case with R, and W is not formally dressed. P, and one more thing can also be noted, that if there are five males, then the positions of males will have to be odd positions. Like if we have nine positions, numbered like this, then first, third, fifth, seventh, and ninth positions should be filled up or occupied by male members. Now come to the options. P sits fifth from the left in the row. It is possible because at fifth position a male sits and P could be that male. So option first is not definitely false. Come to the next option. Q sits seventh from the right in the row. Again, using the same logic that we use for option A, we can see that option B is also not definitely false, as the seventh position is occupied by a male and Q is a male. Let's move to the next option. W sits fourth from the left up in the row. As we know that W is a male, so he should occupy a position which is odd numbered, but fourth position from the left is not an odd position, so option C has to be false. So it is our answer, but check the last option also. C sits second from the right in the rows. Sorry, S sits second from the right in the row. S is a female, and female members are sitting at even numbered positions. So it is possible for S to sit at a position which is second from the right. So option D is not definitely false. Come to the next question. In this question, it is given that assume that T is a formally dressed female. So T, P, U, V, and Q are male members, where Q is formally dressed, and T, S, X, R are female members, where T and R are formally dressed. Now we have information about exactly 8 persons, but not about the gender of 9th person. So 9th person could be male as well, either female. So after having a look at here, it is asking for which of the following is an acceptable sitting sequence from left to right. After having a look at the four options, it becomes obvious that the rightmost position is occupied by a female. So from here we can say that the number of females that should be there has to be 5, and that of the male 4. So odd positions in the given sequence or row must be occupied by females. Now have a look at first option. In the first option, first position, which is an odd position, is occupied by a male member, which is contrary to what just we derived, that all odd positions must be occupied by females. So option first is not a right sequence. Now let's move to the second, and exactly the same thing here in second, that is first or an odd position is occupied by a male, which is also not acceptable. So option B is not a correct sequence. Now let's move to the next option. In the next option, it can be seen that the position of U, which is an odd position, again is not in sync with the information that we have at hand. So this option is also not a correct sequence. Now come to the last option. In last option, T and R are female. We do not have any info about W, so C W can be a female, and then S and X are females. So in this option or sequence, none of the conditions that we have or constraint that we have are getting violated. So the sequence given in option D can be an acceptable sequence. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Now come to the last question of this set. Here it is given that let T be a male who is formally dressed. So male members are T, P, U, V and Q, and female members are W, S, X and R. Photograph would not turn out to be a good one if three or more persons who are not formally dressed sit together. Which of the following information is sufficient to infer the position at which R sat in a photograph that turned out to be a good? Now we know that Q and T are formally dressed male and R is formally dressed female. So we have info about all the persons who are formally dressed. And one more thing is also known to us, that the number of males in this scenario is 5 and that of females is 4. So from here it can be concluded that the odd positions in the sequence will be occupied by male members. So let's mark 9 positions. Now we have to find the statements that would enable us to find the position of R. In first option, it is given that a formally dressed person sat first from the left. It means this position is occupied by a formally dressed male. So next position will be occupied by a female. We don't know whether formally dressed or not. And next by male, female, male, female, male, female, male. Now one thing can also be observed, that if we take two formally dressed person at two consecutive places, then the given condition, that is three or more persons who are not formally dressed sit together, will be violated. So from this position this position will be occupied by a person or a female who is informally dressed, and if we make a person or male sit at position 3 who is formally dressed, then again our condition would be violated. So this person is also a formally informally dressed male. Now two consecutive places, that is 2 and 3, are occupied by a not formally dressed person. So this position or position 4 has to be occupied by a person who is formally dressed, and it is occupied by a female. So this position is occupied by formally dressed female, and we know that there is only one female who is R, is formally dressed. So the information given in a statement or option first enables us to find the exact position of R, which is fourth from the left. Therefore option A is the correct answer. Similarly, we can check other options also and come to know that on the basis of the information given in these statements, we would not be able to find the exact position of R. So that's all for this set.